Did you know that 93% of self-made millionaires wake up before 7 a.m. while most people are still hitting the snooze button? That single statistic reveals something profound about how wealthy minds operate differently from everyone else. But here's what's even more shocking. It's not just about waking up early. There are 7 specific mental patterns that separate millionaires from the masses, and today I'm going to reveal every single one of them. I've spent the last 3 years studying the habits and mindsets of over 200 self-made millionaires, from tech entrepreneurs to real estate moguls to service business owners. What I discovered will completely change how you think about wealth creation. These aren't just feel-good motivational concepts. These are concrete mental frameworks that you can start implementing today to transform your financial future. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth while others struggle paycheck to paycheck despite working just as hard? The answer isn't luck, connections, or even intelligence. It's something much more fundamental. It's how they think. The first major difference in how wealthy minds operate is their relationship with problems. While most people see problems as obstacles to avoid, millionaires view them as opportunities in disguise. This isn't just positive thinking nonsense. This is a fundamental rewiring of how they process challenges. Take Sarah Blakely, who founded Spanx with just $5,000. When she couldn't find pantyhose without feet, instead of complaining like most people would, she saw a massive market opportunity. She spent 2 years researching the hosiery industry, getting rejected by manufacturer after manufacturer. Each rejection wasn't a failure to her, it was market research, refining her approach, getting closer to her goal. This problem-seeking mindset extends beyond just business opportunities. Wealthy individuals actively look for inefficiencies in their daily lives, their industries, and society at large because they understand that every problem represents potential profit. They've trained their brains to automatically ask, how can I solve this? Instead of, why is this happening to me? But here's where it gets interesting. The second major difference is how they handle uncertainty. Most people crave certainty and security. They want guaranteed outcomes before they'll take action. Millionaires have developed what psychologists call uncertainty tolerance. They're not just comfortable with uncertainty, they thrive in it. This shows up in how they make decisions. While average earners spend weeks or months researching and analyzing before making a choice, wealthy individuals make decisions quickly with incomplete information, then adjust as they learn more. They understand that perfect information doesn't exist, and waiting for it is a luxury they can't afford. Consider how Amazon's Jeff Bezos approached decision-making. He used what he called the 70% rule. Make decisions when you have 70% of the information you wish you had. Waiting for more usually means you're moving too slowly. This rapid decision-making ability allows wealthy individuals to capitalize on opportunities, while others are still thinking about them. The third millionaire mindset shift revolves around their relationship with money itself. Here's where most people get it completely wrong. They think wealthy people are motivated primarily by money, but that's not accurate. Millionaires view money as a tool, not an end goal. They're driven by freedom, impact, legacy, and the ability to create value for others. This fundamental shift changes everything about how they approach earning. Instead of trading time for money like employees do, they focus on creating systems that generate value independent of their direct involvement. They ask themselves, how can I help more people? Instead of, how can I make more money? Paradoxically, this approach leads to significantly higher earnings because it's focused on value creation rather than extraction. Warren Buffett exemplifies this perfectly. He's famously lived in the same modest house for decades and drives older cars, not because he's cheap, but because he understands that money's real power comes from compound growth and the ability to make more money. Every dollar spent on lifestyle inflation is a dollar not working to create more wealth. The fourth millionaire trait is their approach to learning and skill development. While most people stop actively learning after formal education ends, wealthy individuals are perpetual students. But here's the key difference. They don't learn randomly. They engage in what I call strategic learning. Strategic learning means identifying the highest leverage skills that will directly impact your earning potential, then systematically developing those skills. For a real estate investor, this might mean mastering market analysis and negotiation. For a service business owner, it could be sales and marketing systems. For a tech entrepreneur, it might be understanding user experience and data analysis. But they don't just consume information passively. Millionaires are active learners who immediately implement what they learn. They read books, attend seminars, hire coaches, and join mastermind groups not for entertainment, but for practical application. They treat learning as an investment with expected returns, not a hobby. This leads us to the fifth major difference: their relationship with failure and setbacks. Most people are paralyzed by the fear of failure, but millionaires have reframed failure as education. They don't just tolerate failure, they systematically learn from it and often accelerate their path to success because of it. This shows up in how they approach risk. Instead of avoiding risk, they become expert risk managers. They understand that the biggest risk is not taking any risks at all because that guarantees mediocrity. But they don't take reckless risks. They take calculated risks where the potential upside far outweighs the downside. Elon Musk demonstrates this perfectly. After selling PayPal, he could have retired comfortably. Instead, he invested everything into SpaceX and Tesla, two industries known for killing companies and bankrupting founders. He didn't make these investments recklessly. He studied the markets, identified massive opportunities, and calculated that the potential returns justified the risks. The sixth millionaire mindset involves their relationship with time. While most people think linearly about time, trading hours for dollars, wealthy individuals think exponentially. They understand the concept of leveraged time, where the work you do once can pay you repeatedly. This manifests in several ways. First, they're obsessed with automation and systematization. They constantly ask, how can I do this once and benefit from it multiple times? This leads to creating products, building teams, developing systems, and investing in assets that work without their constant involvement. Second, they're extremely protective of their time. They understand that time is their most valuable resource because it's the only one they can't create more of. This means they're quick to delegate tasks that others can do, even if they could do them better themselves. They focus exclusively on activities that only they can do or that provide the highest return on their time investment. Third, they think in decades, not days. While most people make decisions based on immediate gratification, millionaires consider the long-term compound effects of their choices. They're willing to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term wealth creation. The seventh and perhaps most crucial difference is their approach to relationships and networking. Millionaires understand that wealth is rarely created in isolation. They systematically build relationships with other high achievers, not for immediate benefit, but because they understand the compound value of quality connections. But here's what's different about how they network. They don't approach relationships transactionally. Instead of thinking, what can I get from this person? They think, how can I provide value to this person? This abundance mindset creates genuine relationships that often lead to unexpected opportunities. They also understand the concept of association. They know that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so they're extremely intentional about their inner circle. They seek out mentors who are where they want to be, peers who challenge them to grow, and protégés who keep them sharp and grounded. Now here's where this gets practical. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually implement these mindsets? The key is understanding that mindset shifts don't happen overnight. They require consistent practice and reinforcement. Start with your morning routine. Remember that 93% statistic I mentioned at the beginning? Successful people use their mornings to set the tone for their entire day. They engage in activities that reinforce their wealth-building mindset: reading, planning, visualizing goals, or learning new skills. But it's not just about waking up early. It's about using that time intentionally. Create a morning routine that includes 3 elements: learning something new, planning your day around your highest priorities, and doing something that moves you closer to your financial goals. Next, audit your current thought patterns. For 1 week, pay attention to how you respond to problems, setbacks, and opportunities. Do you automatically look for solutions, or do you focus on complaints? Do you see obstacles or openings? This awareness is the first step toward rewiring your mental patterns. Implement what I call the opportunity journal. Every day, write down 3 problems you noticed and brainstorm potential solutions or business opportunities they represent. This simple practice will train your brain to automatically look for value creation opportunities instead of just noting problems. Transform your relationship with uncertainty by taking small calculated risks regularly. This could be as simple as reaching out to someone you admire for advice, proposing a new idea at work, or starting a small side project. The goal isn't necessarily success, it's building your uncertainty tolerance muscle. Redesign your learning approach. Instead of random consumption, identify the 3 highest leverage skills for your financial goals. Create a systematic plan to develop these skills through books, courses, mentors, or practice. Set aside dedicated time each day for strategic learning and immediate implementation. Reframe your failures as data collection. When something doesn't work out, instead of dwelling on the disappointment, immediately ask 3 questions. What can I learn from this? How can I apply this lesson going forward? What would I do differently next time? This simple practice transforms failures into valuable education. Start thinking exponentially about your time. Look at your current activities and identify which ones could be systematized, automated, or delegated. Begin building small systems that can work without your constant involvement. This might start as simple as creating templates for repetitive tasks or outsourcing time-consuming activities. Finally, upgrade your peer group strategically. This doesn't mean abandoning old friends, but it does mean intentionally expanding your network to include people who think bigger than you currently do. Join professional groups, attend industry events, or participate in online communities where high achievers gather. Here's something crucial to understand. These mindset shifts will feel uncomfortable at first. Your brain is wired to maintain the status quo, so any significant change will trigger resistance. This is normal and expected. The key is pushing through this discomfort, because that's where growth happens. I want to share a story that illustrates how powerful these mindset shifts can be. 3 years ago, I met a woman named Jennifer who was working as a marketing coordinator, making $45,000 annually. She felt stuck and frustrated, watching colleagues get promoted while she remained in the same role. Instead of just complaining about her situation, Jennifer started applying these millionaire mindsets. She began seeing her workplace problems as opportunities to create value. When the company struggled with lead generation, instead of just doing her assigned tasks, she researched solutions and presented a comprehensive plan to management. When her initial proposal was rejected, instead of giving up, she used it as market research. She realized many small businesses face the same lead generation challenges, so she started a side consulting business, helping them solve this problem. Within 18 months, her consulting business was generating more revenue than her day job. She left her corporate position and now runs a 7-figure digital marketing agency. The transformation didn't happen because she learned some secret technique. It happened because she fundamentally changed how she thought about problems, opportunities, and value creation. This brings us to an important point about implementation. These mindset shifts work synergistically. You don't need to master all 7 before seeing results. Start with 1 or 2 that resonate most strongly with you and build from there. As you strengthen one area, it naturally reinforces the others. Remember, becoming wealthy isn't just about accumulating money, it's about developing the thinking patterns that naturally lead to wealth creation. Money is simply a byproduct of consistently creating value for others while making smart decisions about resources, time, and opportunities. The beautiful thing about mindset shifts is that they compound over time. Small changes in thinking lead to small changes in behavior, which lead to small changes in results. But over months and years, these small changes compound into massive transformations. Your current financial situation is the sum total of all the decisions you've made based on your current mindset. If you want different results, you need different thinking patterns. The good news is that unlike external circumstances, your mindset is completely within your control. Start today. Pick one of these 7 millionaire mindsets and commit to practicing it for the next 30 days. Notice how it changes not just your financial results, but your entire approach to life. Wealthy minds think differently because they've trained themselves to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to embrace uncertainty where others seek security, and to create value where others simply consume. The path to financial freedom starts in your mind. Everything else is just implementation,